Greetings, traveler. It is a pleasure to see you. Regardless of the weather outside, these doors are always unlocked for seekers after enlightenment. So please, don't just stand out there in the weather. You are more than welcome to enter my humble abode and share the fire with me.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
Well, traveler, the Irish fellow is in a state of flux. A point in time where one with enhanced perception can see alternatives plainly. A point where one must stop and check navigational aids to ensure one is not lost. As the saying goes, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Every man that decides to immerse himself in red pill truth must do the same. It is the one thing we all share. The red pill rage that threatens to consume you. That cultural conditioning being dismantled, along with, potentially, your sanity. It is a path we all share, yet one we must walk alone. It was even more intense in my case, for I deliberately engaged in a relentless course of psychological nudity and hardcore analysis. Yet, even being immersed in this activity, I retained the ability to step back and ask myself hard questions. People think you're crazy if you talk about things they don't understand. There are stream of consciousness rants preserved on my Exile 1 Exodus playlist. Well over a year ago, just beginning my journey to the red pill, I was asking myself these hard questions, doing my best to expose myself to truth. I was forcing myself to confront reality, whether I was ready to accept it or not. After all, you have to decide whether the man in the mirror is someone you want to see, especially if you're neither average or conventional, are always an outsider, and are socially inept. If you're living in the brutal honesty regime, an act of self-validation is not an act of ego gratification. There are those who do not understand my isolation, who tell me My analysis is faulty. That I am being led into a cult of vile, misogynist incels. Well, I told the world this true statement 17 months ago, and it's still true. Red pills have a bitter taste, but it is the taste of freedom. It wasn't 3 weeks later I was again asking myself, why should I stay on the red pill path? Now, more than once I've taken the path less traveled. Sometimes out of curiosity, other times by karma, occasionally by someone saying, you can't do that. And yes, I was the kid in class that you hated, because I was the one who would ask why. You know, you showed us a way, not necessarily the best way. My attitude that I had since I was a teenager, a persistence in seeking truth, combined with intense introspection with a red pill catalyst, is what led to a breakthrough and a quantum leap in personal growth. Now I am at peace, but I am not content. This is not a peak, just a plateau. As part of my philosophy of life, I strive to be a teacher of truth. Not in a stealth approach to induce you to join a cult, but to show you what power is present in embracing red pill truth. I show the progression of a man. Once abandoned, lost, and alone, my path has brought me ever closer to levels of awareness and performance that are transhuman. I have been brutally honest with myself, and my examinations are on full display with numerous personal examples. You may call me many things, but none of you can call me a liar. Rather than stand off to the side and throw shade, join me on this path so we can gain knowledge together. My channel is still present, despite YouTube harassment, as an example of what any man can do once he has fully embraced the red pill. I keep moving forward not only because karma compels me, but I personally know that if you are not actively pushing forward against resistance, entropy is pushing you backwards. Now, there are a lot of ranters out there, and I did a couple of rants about female nature recently, and they got a shocking amount of views. But that's what gets the views and followers. It's kind of frustrating to me. But still, I do get feedback. Enough to know some of what I say resonates with a precious few. And it is not an ego boost, rather validation of how my path has innate value. I continue to stand my ground and proclaim the truth, despite the presence of mockers and liars and censors. YouTube very recently removed one of my videos saying it was against community guidelines. And I remember the subject of my little walk and talk MGTOW crap. It was about preparedness and knowing your neighbors. Now, how that is against community guidelines, who knows? But we know the truth. You're censoring anything that doesn't fit the narrative of the moment. Well, sorry, Susan Nowicki or whoever, Wojcicki, whoever the hell you are. You're a simple bitch and you don't get it. I've rejected blue-pilled cultural conditioning because it's rampant in the modern media. My reality is determined by me, not by public education, religion, politics, or self-appointed authorities like you. I'm an old man, and it won't be much longer until I'm gone from this physical plane. But I'm not worried about my legacy. In fact, I ran across a meme that describes a situation that would be cool if it happened after I was gone. Rather, you see a statue of some, quote, famous, unquote, person, and rather than say, why does this man have a statue? I want to hear someone say, why does Sifu not have a statue? And the answer would be by the followers of my philosophy. We're too busy doing better things than to build a monument to ego. And remember, we are in a battle of order against chaos. In the end, entropy wins and there's the heat death of the universe, or life wins. And all of us, creatures of intelligence in a transhuman condition, have passed on to the next plane of existence. If you are on the side of order against chaos, make a video and share your distilled wisdom. You may help another brother achieve his own success. As a Renaissance man, my interests are extremely broad. As Homo rationalis tempered by enlightened self-interest, I can focus intently on subjects of value to other red pill men. We are the bleeding edge, the forlorn hope. We are the manifestation of that upcoming transhuman awakening. Some of you out there may think I am in need of pharmaceuticals, confinement, or both. I know that is just the screeching of haters who cannot handle me. Seeing a man embrace his inner old, alone, and crazy, not only to survive, but to thrive and prosper, well, maybe I'll get lucky and it'll induce an embolism or stroke in some of you haters. It might calm you down enough to stop being jealous. With no woman in the way, I am free to maximize my potential. My results to date in my journey towards Red Pill Truth have been outstanding and exceptional. There is no need to look back except for analysis. Sanity, mental clarity, and peace of mind are things I paid for. Not with money, but with time, persistence, and brutal honesty. Despite the best efforts of YouTube and Facebook to censor me, I am here until you kick me off the platform. You may call me a gadfly or agent provocateur, but I will tell you what I really am. A red-pilled, bona fide badass motherfucker. So, traveler, I hope you will think about what you've heard here today, and as you continue on your journey, remember, I still say some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet.